You ever feel like you're doing everything right with your money, but you're just not getting anywhere? Like you're being responsible, but that feeling of being financially fragile, it just won't go away. Okay, let's dive into why this happens. And trust me, it's probably not what you think. Yeah, this feeling. This is what we're talking about. It's that quiet frustration that you're playing by all the rules, but for some reason, the scoreboard just isn't changing. And you know what? It's an incredibly common feeling.
All right, let's actually dig into this responsible but stuck feeling. It's not the sheer panic of a financial crisis, right? It's more of a low-grade, constant hum of anxiety that maybe you're missing some secret that everyone else is in on. But what if it's not a secret?
And this is the most important idea we're going to talk about today. That feeling isn't a reflection of your character or your willpower or your effort. So often, it's rooted in the simple, cold, hard math of how our financial world is built. So let's get into the mechanics behind this. Why does it feel like all your responsible choices and all your hard work can feel like they're just vanishing into thin air? To make this super concrete, let's walk through a classic, and I mean classic, example, the credit card trap. This isn't some extreme horror story. It's the quiet reality for millions and millions of people. Let's start with a pretty typical credit card balance. $5,000. I mean, that's a number that can rack up so easily from one bad car repair, an unexpected medical bill, or just, buying groceries these days. Now, let's add the real engine of the problem, a 24% annual percentage rate, or APR. And again, this isn't some crazy unheard of rate. This is pretty standard. This number right here is the key to why progress feels impossibly slow. So what does that 24% on $5,000 actually mean in the real world? It means about $100 in interest is being added to your balance every single month. That's money you owe before a single penny of your payment goes to the original debt. And this visual just illustrates the trap perfectly. You make your payment, let's say it's $150, and you feel responsible. But look where that money goes. 2/3 of it, $100, is immediately vaporized by interest. Only $50 actually chips away at what you owe. It's like trying to bail out a sinking boat with a teacup. And this brings us to a really hard truth. The minimum payment system is designed to do exactly one thing: keep your account in good standing and protect your payment history. It is absolutely not designed to help you get out of debt quickly. And this same frustrating logic applies to your credit score. Just look at how lopsided this is. You can make on-time payments for an entire year and watch your score just creep up a few points at a time. But miss one payment by 30 days, and boom, your score can absolutely plummet. The system rewards consistency very slowly, but punishes mistakes very, very quickly. And then there's this other invisible force at play: credit utilization. It's just a fancy term for a simple ratio: how much you owe compared to your total credit limit. So if you have a high balance, even if you have a perfect payment history, the credit score models see you as a higher risk. You could be doing everything right, but that high ratio will keep your score stuck in place. Okay, that was the problem. It's frustrating, I get it, but understanding how the game is played is the first step. So now let's talk about the solution. It's this concept called financial margin, and it's how you finally change the math to work for you instead of against you. So what is margin? It's actually super simple. It's just the gap, the space between your income and your expenses. If you earn $3,500 a month and your bills are $3,300, your margin is just $200. That thin margin, that's the structural squeeze. And the entire game is about finding ways to widen that gap. And this right here, this is a game-changing way to think about it. Willpower, discipline, those are fantastic for preventing you from taking on new debt. But when you're trying to escape old, high-interest debt that's already there, income is your superpower. You can only cut your expenses so far, right? But increasing your income, that's where the real leverage is. And look, creating this margin doesn't have to be glamorous. In fact, usually it's pretty boring, and that's okay. We're talking about predictable, steady stuff: picking up overtime shifts, doing some simple freelance work on the side, pet sitting. These things aren't flashy, but they reliably create the extra cash flow you need to finally start attacking the debt itself. So theory is great, but what does this look like in the real world? Let's get into a simple, actionable plan that you can actually start using today. We're going to break this down into 3 super simple timeframes to keep it from getting overwhelming: what to do today, what to do this week, and what to accomplish this month. That's it. Okay, step 1. Do this today. It's all about getting clarity. Log into every single account and just write down the numbers. The balance, the interest rate, the minimum payment. No judgment, no emotion, just data. Then, and this is so important, set up automatic payments for at least the minimum on everything. You have to protect that payment history at all costs.
Now, for this week, your mission is just to start widening that margin even by a little bit. First, look at your last month of spending and find 1 or 2 small leaks to plug. Then, test out one small way to bring in some extra income. The goal here isn't to get rich overnight, it's just to prove to yourself that your income isn't a fixed number.
And finally, for this month, it's all about focus. You're going to choose one debt, just one, to be your target. Aim for a tangible, visible win that you can see and feel. Maybe that's paying off a small balance completely, just for that psychological boost. Or maybe it's getting one card's utilization below that key 30% mark to give your credit score a little nudge. Visible progress builds momentum.
And as you're doing all this, you have to remember this crucial point. Real financial progress, it's not a loud, dramatic movie montage. It's quiet. It's a balance on a screen dropping from 5,000 to 4,200. It's not exciting, but that quiet, boring progress is what compounds over time and actually changes your life. So if you're feeling like this whole process is slow, you're not going crazy. It is slow. The system is designed that way. But please remember this. Slow is not the same thing as impossible. And I'll leave you with this last thought. For so long, we're told to just try harder with our money. But what if that's not the answer? What if winning this game isn't about how much effort you put in, but about understanding the rules and applying the right strategy?